What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Unfiltered Media. In today's video, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are an absolute roster hell. Things just keep getting worse, and we discuss what this means for the Tom Brady situation. Let's get into this straight away. Okay, so if you guys have seen the news, just when we thought that things could not possibly get worse for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster situation, Pro Bowl guard Ali Marpet has decided to call it a career. He has hung it up at just 28 years old. He was absolutely in his prime, one of the best guards in the league, probably the best offensive lineman on the team. And he has decided to hang it up at 28 years old. And this was an absolute shocker. And the hits just keep on coming for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It has been really, really rough. It is really hard to capture just how dire this situation. So I want to lay this all out for you guys so you can see just how many players, okay, are currently not on the roster due to retirement, due to free agency, whatever it is. But it is a massive, massive issue right now. And then I'm going to tell you, how does this relate to the entire Tom Brady situation? So firstly, starting center, Ryan Jensen, scheduled to be a free agent. Starting guard, Alec Kappa, scheduled to be a free agent. Reserve guard, Aaron Stinney, scheduled to be a free agent. Okay, so this is a huge part. If we add Ali on there, okay, this is almost the entire offensive line, okay? And we know how important offensive line is to any quarterback and especially to Tom Brady, who needs his protection to pick apart the defense. So let's look at all of these other situations, okay? So Brady, retired. Chris Godwin, free agent. Running back, Leonard Fournette, free agent. Rob Gronkowski, free agent or retired. Okay. Jason Pierre-Paul, free agent. Ndamukong Suh, free agent. William Golston, free agent. Carlton Davis, free agent. Jordan Whitehead, free agent. Antonio Brown, free agent. I mean, these are most of the big name players on the Bucs. This is so much of the key players on offense, so many of the key players on defense, and this is a really, really difficult situation. The Bucs are in absolute cap hell. It would be extremely challenging for them to re-sign back all of these players and to be competitive. And for me, this is why we are seeing this Tom Brady situation. Do I think, Tom Brady was really ready to hang it up? If you guys see my previous videos, I still think Tom Brady is at the absolute top of his game. I still think Tom Brady intends to play at least one more year in the league. I believe that he is moving to try to get himself traded to the San Francisco 49ers. And I think it's obviously... I think there's some internal issues between Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. I think there's an ego conflict there. But also, if we look at things realistically and seeing all the information that I just provided to you and seeing how badly the Bucs are affected cap-wise, how many players, legit players, okay, that they currently do not have under contract on offense and defense, whether it's almost the entire starting line, whether it's weapons like Gronk, like AB, like Chris Godwin, okay? Whether it's key players on defense, the Bucs roster is in absolute shambles. It would take some serious miracle working to even, stay pat, to even stand pat with where they were last year, okay? So for me, this is a big thing that went into Brady's thinking to not wanting to return to the Bucs. Obviously, we've read a lot of reports of issues between, Tom Brady and Bruce Arians, particularly, heading down the stretch. There was a lot of conflict, about how they wanted to run the offense over the past 2 years. But if you're Tom Brady and you're sitting there and you're 45 years old, you only want to do one thing, and that's have one more shot at the Super Bowl. You do not want to come back to a team that looks like they're in cap hell, a team that looks like they really have to rebuild the roster. Maybe if it's a slight retool, but going through all the names that we just read, on the Bucs, it does not look like a slight retool. They have a ton of players that they need to re-sign. They would have a ton of positions they have to replace. And if you're Tom Brady, you're sitting there and you're at 45 years old, you're thinking, look, My entire offensive line, okay, right now is not under contract. All of my major weapons on offense are not under contract. How could you decide in that condition to go back? Who's going to protect you? Who you throwing the ball to? Who you handing the ball off to? You know, Tom Brady is not going to play if he does not have a legitimate chance to win a Super Bowl. The man's going to be 45 years old. You don't want to play for a team that's going to rebuild. You don't have time to rebuild. You're in your mid 40s. It's either win now or win never. You know, the time is ticking. So I believe, you know, given, you know, the relationship things with Bruce Arians, given the roster situation, I think Tom decided to take a step back, evaluate the situation, saying, okay, let's see what's going on with this. I'll keep the door open. If by some miracle, okay, maybe the roster situation here, you know, improves, okay, I can think about it a little bit more, but maybe in the meantime, I'm going to quietly start to explore some other options, maybe leak some stories. Hey, maybe I would like to, you know, go to San Fran. Maybe I'd like to win a Super Bowl for my childhood team. Let's just put some feelers out there. Let's leak some stories. Let's see if that might be something that would be possible. Let me back channel. I'll let my agent take care of that. Enjoy a little bit of family time. Let's reevaluate this thing in a couple of months. But this is my read on the situation. This is what I think the total picture of things are with Brady if we're looking at not only, you know, the reports of the relationship issue, but there's serious roster issues. So at this point, I would like you guys to weigh in on the conversation. If you are a Tampa Bay Bucs fan, what do you guys think about this roster situation? Do you think that you're looking at a major rebuild on the Bucs? Do you think that this is something that's manageable? Do you think it's just going to be a retool? I mean, if you were Brady, be honest. If you're going to be 45 years old and you're looking at the roster situation, you know, you're looking at, you know, BA, who you've had these issues with, do you want to come back to the Bucs? And also, if you're the Bucs organization, right? If you're looking at this cap hell that you're in right now, if you're looking at how many holes you have on the roster, do you actually think that you're going to be able to put together a Super Bowl effort for next season? And if you don't think that, and if you have this asset, Tom Brady on your team, greatest player of all time, can command a haul even at 44 years old, don't you think maybe you would look to move him if the situation presented itself? If you can bring back some good young talent, maybe on first-year contracts, if you can bring back some good draft capital that could help you re-kick that rebuilding process a little bit faster, if it could help you to expedite that. And, you know, if it was going to take you 3 years to rebuild, 4 years to rebuild, maybe you do it in 2. Would you start to think about that? If I'm the Bucs, I would be very heavily considering it because maybe, you know, if you don't do it, Brady retires anyway. But if you find the trade for him, if you send him somewhere he wants to go, like San Fran, and you can recoup some assets, it's going to help your franchise's future. Why the hell not? You know, that's what I feel. So anyway, curious about how you guys weigh on this situation. Let's have a discussion about this. Let's have some fun in the comment section, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.